Hello, welcome to iTech Empires. This is Yogesh Kohli. So in last video, we have created a basic database, a basic folder structure for the CRUD application, and we have added our Bootstrap framework. We have again added jQuery and AngularJS files. We have created a database connection file, a library. So now in this video, we are going to see our front end. So let's open up the index.php file and start creating a basic setup for index.php file. Okay, so first thing we are going to write a HTML code here. So let's name our application, that is let's say a CRUD application. Okay, and then in the head section we are going to have our bootstrap file included by using link. Okay, so let's go to include that link to the bootstrap folder into the css and bootstrap.css. Okay, so bootstrap file is added. Now let's set up a jQuery file first, and next AngularJS, and then the bootstrap, and then the object.js. So all required files should be there. Okay, so in src we need to have a lib, and from the lib folder you can simply access the jQuery.main file. So go ahead and repeat that again for Angular. Lib folder should be there, angular.main.js, and then from bootstrap we are going to call bootstrap main.js, and then from lib again we are going to call out. So this is the file where this file is going to have custom script. As you see this is an empty file, right? Okay, so our basic setup is ready for the index.php page. So let's create some content here. Okay, so into the container I'm going to have a row here for, and the column, and which is going to have a h1 tag for just to name the application. So we can say AngularJS PHP CRUD application. Okay, let's go ahead and test it out. Okay, so it's working, right? Next thing, we need to have a button here so that you can have add new task button. Okay, so into the row I need to have a column. Okay, so this our column is there, and the pull right button. So button is going to have add tasks, and button should be add tasks, and then it should be class, should be btn success. Okay, success will be fine. And then let's create bootstrap model so that you can call on this button click. Okay, so it should have a data table, right? Data table should be model, and then data target is, so right now I'm just adding the id here for add new task model. So we need to have a model here. Okay, so go to the bottom, and then I'm just going to go to the getbootstrap.com, and in JavaScript I'm going to go to the model. Yes, so this is simple model. I'm just going to copy that in and go to paste that in here. Okay, and make the idea this model will be the same as here. So let's test So yes, our model is working. So now we need to make some changes. Just update the title, add task, body should be, and button should say add task. Okay, and then the body should have form group along with the label for name, and then the input field which is going to have a type as a text, class of form control. Okay, so this is for name. Let's do another. Label should be again, we're not going to deal with that. Okay, just have a text area here. Okay, class will be our same form control. Okay, so let's go ahead and test it again. Do a refresh. So yes, name is there, tasks and description box text area is there. Okay, so now it's already in there, right? Let's delete this one just for your reference. Okay, so now go to our app.js file. So here, this is the step where you are going to start coding for AngularJS. Okay, so first thing is create a module for Angular. So that is going to be Angular module app. Okay, app.controller. So yes, second thing is to create a controller for your application. Okay, so controller should be, as we are creating task here, so let's say task controller, and it should have dependencies as well. So let's say it should be like this. Yeah, see. So scope and then HTTP. As we are going to deal with the calling HTTP services, that is create, read, and delete. Okay. Next thing. Just to create a function here for scope and HTTP as a parameter. So yes, it's ready. Just simply register this app module and task controller to the index.php. Add this directive here, ng app or app, and then you can simply create another div and add those into the scope and create another directive ng controller. Okay, so yes, we have registered our app model and controller here. You can simply click to this and check out the body section. So it says the class ng scope. So within this is within AngularJS scope. So now we are ready to create AngularJS. So now we are ready to write AngularJS, or we can say the controller functions here, right? So let's say when you click add tags button, and here is our another add tag button to save the add tags into the database. So we need to handle this click event, right? So we have to write a controller function to handle the click event, right? So let's go ahead and write down the. So let's say first thing, before going to write a add tags function, we need to have few different objects here. Scope dot tags, right? So this is going to have a tags objects. While adding a new tags into the database, we are going to send this tags object to the create.php file. And another object is to have error, right? And then next thing is we need to have a list of tasks. So let's say it should be tasks. Okay, and it should be a array object. Okay, so now we are going to begin with creating our add tasks method here. Okay, add tasks, and this should be a function. Okay, okay, so now call this on ngClick event. So in AngularJS, when you handle a click event, you need to use ngClick attribute. Okay, so now, and then this object is going to have a name. Okay, so ng model is equal tasks dot name, right? So we are binding this tasks dot name tasks object to the HTML input type. Next is ng model tasks dot description. Okay, so now we are ready to go. Then in the add tasks method, write down this following lines that I'm going to write. I'm going to use http here to send a post request to the, it's in under script folder, which is create.php file, and it is going to have a data called tasks, and we are going to pass our tasks object, right? And the next then function that is going to handle our two types of methods. First is function success. Function success, which has a one parameter which includes the response. Okay, now another function that is error. So this function is going to have errors to handle errors. Okay, success response. Let's handle error response first. So while sending a error response, we need to make sure that our data is having a errors object. Okay, so we need to take care about that. So I will notify when we are going to send the response. So now you go to the create.php file. So we are going to create.php file. Okay, so now accept the data from JSON first. So JSON decode, and then the file get contain, and it should be php colon input, and it should be true. So we are cascading it to array. So if it said it has a tags, add our library file here first, which is located under script folder, and we are already in the script. Let's check if it set data tasks of name, then get that data of tasks, else null, right? So same thing for description as well. Sorry, so this should be same as description. Okay, this is something. Okay, so we have our input now, and then validate the request first. So first thing is validate, and second is add the task. Name is equal null. Assign HTTP response code to is with 400, and then echo JSON encode our error objects. Okay, So here it is having name field is required, please enter the name, or it can be just name field is required, whatever is sufficient for you. Okay, and else create our new task object and then call create method from the task, and which accept two arguments, name and description. Sorry. So let's make sure it is returning a task again. Okay, so if you see, we are not write it down to the console. So whatever we are going to get into success, we are going to write it down into the console. Okay, so first thing, make sure our console is open so that we can test it out. Now we have refreshed, and then we are going to hit a task button. So if you see, the 400 response is there, so it means that our response is working and the control is inside this if condition. And so if you check the response of this code, so it's showing errors, right? So now we just need to show these errors here. Okay, you can show errors whatever means wherever you want. I'm just going to display those errors on just here. So into the eval field and li, so ng repeat error in errors and simply error, and we need to make sure that it has a class of alert danger, and we need to show when errors is there. So errors ng if errors dot length is greater than 0. Click add task. So now if you see, name field is required. Oh, it's 1 second. Let's remove from this and add it here. Okay. Okay. So name field is required, right? As we are not filling in any name here. So let's fill the name. So tags, go to market. So we are not going to deal with the description for now. So yes, response is there. That means our record is added. So if you see, we have our task object. So let's check out our database. Yes, so record is there, correct? So let's add a description again and add another field here. So visit demo website, and here is the description. So this is just a test. Yep. So again we have our new object, and let's check out. So now this time we have our description as well.